Years since I last reported on the New York drill scene, and when I done my last recap on it, the scene was looking real promising, with many artists on the wave getting hit with big deals and millions of views pretty much overnight. But in 2024, the scene is looking like it's in real danger, with most of the top artists either falling off or getting caught up in the streets. Today, we'll be getting into the rise and fall of New York drill. Before we get into this one, guys, I'm running another giveaway for a PS5. To enter, all you have to do is comment KN on Jay Bizzy's latest net start. The giveaway will be announced on my Instagram in the description, so please make sure you're posted on there.
Bro, full free, full tune, full ain't already getting done. Count the racks, make some moves, hustling sterling's the life I choose.
They gotta. I'm about to go comment that. Yeah, we need that. We said comment KN, and I'm gonna react to it. Fuck it. Yeah. Tell that nigga I need that P5, nigga.
It's been nearly 2
I just bought one, but I need another one.
years since I
don't have one.
With many artists on the wave getting hit with big deals and millions of views pretty much overnight. But in 2024, the scene is looking like it's in real danger, with most of the top artists either falling off or getting caught up in the streets. Today, we'll be getting into the rise and fall of New York drill. Before we get into this one, guys, I'm running another giveaway for a PS5. To enter, all you have to do is comment KN on Jay Bizzy's latest net start. The giveaway will be announced on my Instagram in the description, so please make sure you're posted on there.
Bro, full free, full tune, full ain't already getting done. Count the racks, make some moves, hustling sterling's the life I choose. Said it before, why not say it again? You can't fit in my shoes.
Swing that P5, nigga.
So as we all know, hip-hop has been around for a while now, but in 2011, a new subgenre of hip-hop hit the streets, straight from Chicago. And this genre will change the hip-hop game forever. Teenagers from some of the most impoverished areas of Chicago would start dissing each other on dark trap-styled beats, which created what we know now as drill music. Early pioneers of this wave being Chicago artists like Chief Keef, Little Durk and Little Jojo. And it wasn't long before this new sound started hitting different sides of America and even the world. New York was one of the first states to adopt this new sound in America. In 2012, a Bronx rapper called Polo Rell dropped which is believed to be the first drill song in New York when he released a single called Gucci Big Bank in December of that year. He continued dropping tracks until 2016, but was eventually stopped in his tracks when he was caught in the biggest indictment in New York history. Polo Rell was a part of a gang called B&B, which operated on a road called White Plains in the Bronx, and they were into it with another gang 8 minutes away in a housing project called Eastchester Gardens. Both gangs were causing havoc on the streets and seemingly getting away with it, but what both groups didn't know was in the shadows, the NYPD was keeping records of everything that was going on. They had thousands of CCTV videos and multiple witness statements of situations between both of the gangs. And on April the 27th, 2016, 700 riot officers struck and arrested 120 members.
From B&B and Slug Gang, I remember this shit. These niggas are indicted. One of the niggas came out singing Kodak, nigga Pookie. I know these niggas, some of them niggas is low. Nigga Pookie came out, what he said? That shit was on the news. I was in jail, I saw the shit on the news. The nigga came out and said, they don't want to see you winning. He said, oh, that shit. The police bringing them out. I ain't gonna lie. I'll never forget that I was in jail. I saw that shit. I know son, that's my nigga. I ain't gonna say he not my nigga, but I know them. I ain't gonna say they my niggas. They ain't my niggas, but I know them niggas.
They believed to be behind both gangs, hitting them with a whole heap of different charges. The NYPD connected both gangs to 1,800 shots fired, 8 homicides, and countless drug and weapon offences. Polo Row was seen as having an important role in the B&B gang, and was sentenced to life, with a possibility of parole in 55 years, ending his career, and more importantly his freedom, taking down New York's first drill rapper. See, the differences between New York and Chicago is that New York don't play when it comes to crime. New York City is one of the most surveyed cities in the world. In most boroughs, you can't even turn a corner without being on CCTV. Chicago is the second most policed city in America, only beaten by one city, NYC, which has more than 3 times the amount of officers patrolling its streets. And it will become clear by the end of this video why New York drill artists don't last that long on the streets. In 2014, a fresh rapper from New York was taking the world by storm. On August the 1st, 2014, a Brooklyn rapper named Bobby Shmurda dropped the biggest rap single to come out of that year, called Hot Boy. Bobby Shmurda literally came out of nowhere, creating one of the first viral dances to hit social media, the Shmurda dance. At the time, everyone was doing the Shmurda dance all over Instagram and a platform that was buzzing at the time called Vine, catching the attention of new fans everywhere, and unfortunately the police. See, what a lot of new fans didn't know at the time, Bobby Shmurda's breakout song Hot Boy had quite a lot of self-incriminating lyrics. Bobby Shmurda,
this was one of the biggest songs, pause too, like one of the for New York history. That shit right here, I ain't gonna lie, this is like for sure, like, like, if you're gonna say this is top 5 probably biggest songs ever come out of New York, my nigga, they still playing this shit in the clubs. You go to the club, they still playing this, and they still playing Computers. Computers is still going crazy on the radio. Nighttime, you gonna hear Computers on the radio.
Shmurda was part of a gang in Brooklyn called
These
GS9.
Come on, you hearing Hot Nigga and you hearing Computers 2024 in the clubs. You go to the clubs in New York, you still hearing this shit. This shit is like the biggest song since motherfucking Biggie probably, nigga. New York song. I swear to God, my mama. I ain't gonna lie, I can't even think of nothing that was like from New York that's still getting like, probably Biggie, yeah, but I'm thinking like, on some drill shit though, nothing. On some gangster shit, nothing. This is probably the biggest song ever. This shit still playing like.
Was released. Bobby and his gang was already being investigated heavily by the NYPD for a string of charges from selling drugs to murder. And after Bobby started going up in music, the NYPD labelled him as the boss of the gang. Only 4 months after he dropped his hit single, Shmurda and 14 other members of GS9 were all arrested inside a Manhattan recording studio and charged with 69 counts of criminal charges, resulting in Bobby taking a 7-year plea deal. At this point, it was looking like the New York music scene was cursed. Bobby was New York's first breakout artist for a very long time, at a time where other cities like Atlanta was producing star after star. But soon, a new wave of drill music was about to take over the scene and change New York rap forever. In 2016, the UK drill scene was on fire. Groups like Sit 7 and Harlem Spartans were at their peak of gaining international attention, literally transforming the drill sound worldwide. New York was one of the first places outside of London to adapt to this new style. In the summer of 2016, a Brooklyn rapper called 22G's was one of the first New York artists to jump on the UK drill beat in a song called Blicky. But he really started making some noise in New York when he dropped a song called Suburban. After this track, more and more Brooklyn artists started emerging, all adopting UK drill type beats. In 2017, a rival drill rapper to 22G's called Chef G dropped a response track to 22G's song Suburban, naming it No Suburban, creating a big rivalry between both artists at the start of this new wave, pretty much making them the faces of New York drill at the time. But it wouldn't be long before a new up-and-coming drill rapper would take Brooklyn drill to the world stage, the rapper being an artist called Pop Smoke. he really started showing some star potential when he dropped his first hit called Flexin', which was enough for Republic Records to sign him only a few months after that release. A month after signing his deal, he really proved that he wasn't no regular drill rapper when he released one of his biggest hits till this day, called Welcome to the...
This too. Alright, this too. Pop Smoke and Bobby got the two biggest songs in New York history. Baby, welcome to the party. And maybe Favi. I ain't gonna lie on some... I'm trying to think about like some old school shit that still like... that had an impact. Like these niggas shit had an impact. Welcome to the party, Big Drip, Hot Nigga, Computers. Them shits had impact on New York, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like them shits had... I'm from New York, bro. Like this shit had impact. I'm trying to think of like... Ja Rule, them niggas ain't make no song like 50. Them niggas had 50, yeah, Many Men and shit like that, yeah. But I'm talking about like on some 50 had some shit too. But I'm talking about like on some like in the club and shit like this shit just lit like Many Men in the club is type crazy. Yeah, Many Men in the club is type crazy. Yeah, Many Men in the club, niggas ain't really trying to hear that in the club. It might come on, niggas might vibe to it, but they gonna cut it short. They're not gonna play the whole song. Or they not gonna rewind. Welcome to the party, they playing that shit 100 times in a row. Hot niggas, the club is going crazy. They rewinding that bitch 20 times. Big Drip, yo, listen, I swear to God, my mama. I'm trying to think of another like song that had like a... I'm 30, y'all. I'm 32, nigga. So I know I've been around for music, nigga. I can't, yeah, maybe French Montana, them niggas, but it ain't still knocking today. That's what I'm trying to say, like, today. See, this is only 4 years ago. So Hot Nigga is 2014. So I'm trying to get at, like. I might be wrong. Nigga, if you from New York and you see this shit, leave it in the comments. Or am I right? I think I might be a little right, though. I think I'm on point with it.
The song was a commercial success, shining a massive spotlight on him and the whole Brooklyn drill wave. Other Brooklyn artists like Fivio Foreign and Busy Banks dropped big tracks soon after, cementing Brooklyn drill as one of the biggest music movements coming out of 2019. But it wouldn't be long until the whole scene would crash to his knees. 2020 was a terrible year for Brooklyn drill. Off the back of the previous year's success, fans were predicting New York drill to keep stepping it up. Little did people know, the whole scene would pretty much be crushed before it could even grow. At the start of 2020, Pop Smoke was on the top of the world. He was networking with the biggest rappers in America while selling out shows worldwide. But unfortunately, Pop Smoke would be stopped before he could reach his full potential. In mid-February of 2020, Pop and his childhood friend Mike D flew from New York to California and rented out a property in Beverly Hills. But while enjoying his time on the other side of the country, Pop may have got a bit too comfortable. Throughout his stay in Cali, the pair made several social media posts showing off their trip, posting the views of where they were staying and the white Range Rover they were driving. But where Pop Smoke really messed up was when he posted a video of some designer shopping he got delivered to the property, which showed the address of where he was staying. 4 gang members who didn't live too far from the area caught wind of where Pop Smoke was staying at. They then proceeded to run up in the property with masks, looking to rob anything on site. When they got into the house, Pop was in the shower so didn't notice at first. But when one of the robbers eventually found the rapper, they ended up getting into an altercation, leading to Pop Smoke being shot 3 times in the back, with one of the shots being fatal. Pop Smoke's death not only affected New York, but hip-hop as a whole. Pop was only rapping for less than 2 years, and the impact he made on the Brooklyn drill scene was undoubtedly unmatched. Brooklyn drill would never really recover from his loss, and stuff was only gonna get worse for the borough. In May of the same year, another Brooklyn drill rapper and close friend to 22 G's, called Nick Blicky, was shot 7 times and later died to his injuries. In the same month, another smaller Brooklyn rapper would also face the same demise, after an artist called KG Balla was shot and killed in a drive-by. One rapper that was also making noise at the time was a Brooklyn artist named Casanova. He was becoming a well-talked about rapper, mainly due to his actions off the mic, with many dramas and feuds with other rappers in the game. But in the end of 2020, Casanova and members of his guerrilla
You see this nigga right here?
with other rappers in the game. But in the end of 2020,
This nigga right here, he rap. He from my hood. He from my hood. He be rapping this shit. Old nigga. I'm gonna shout out what it is. He be rapping this shit. Shout out to him.
Casanova and members of his Gorilla Stone Bloods gang were all caught up on the RICO case, which eventually resulted in Casanova being sentenced to 16 years in 2023. Unfortunately, one of the last standing big rappers on the Brooklyn drill scene would also meet the same fate a month later. In 2020, after dropping 2 big albums, Chef G was proven to be at the top of the game and was looking likely to be the next big prospect. But in early 2021, Chef G got booked for possession of a gun, which landed him a 2-year sentence. He was looking to get released in 2023 and make a big comeback on the declining scene. Unfortunately, the feds had a different idea, because not long before he was scheduled to be released, Chef G was hit with an 140 count indictment, which accuses the rapper of orchestrating multiple shootings and other acts of violence on rival gang members. If you couldn't tell already, New York don't play when it comes to gang activity. Next to nothing really goes past them. They'll normally wait to build up the perfect case on the gang and hit them with a RICO, which in history has a 98% prosecution rate. If you don't know what a RICO is, to put it simply,
bro, you get with that RICO, my nigga. They really just, to keep it 100, they really just wait for a few bodies to drop. Once a few bodies drop and you claiming anything, RICO. They coming to get anybody. Everybody that hang out with you getting booked. And that's how they do it. So they get the niggas that's not really even in the gang. That's not really gang, but they be around, don't really, they tell. All they get is one nigga to snitch. Once they get the one nigga to snitch, it's over. If you got a team full of solid niggas and shit, and y'all get, as long as like, so if niggas don't get caught for the bodies either and nobody snitch, then there ain't gonna be no RICO. But if a nigga get caught for the body and they know he from that gang or whatever, it could start causing up a RICO. Even if nobody snitch. They gonna try to get somebody to snitch. But if nobody snitch, nigga, you good. But
it's basically a federal charge that targets an organization or group that has committed multiple normal crimes either within the group or for that group. RICO charges were originally introduced in the 1970s in an attempt to combat the Italian mafia, which are operating in New York and getting away with a lot of crime due to high levels of organization within the mafia families. But today it's used for all types of situations, like fraudulent businesses and of course to take down gangs. By 2021, Brooklyn drill was just a shell of what it was a couple years back, but soon the next phase of drill would take place and arguably make more noise than ever before. Right in the same place hip-hop started, the Bronx. Teenagers from the Bronx started rapping on sampled beats with a lot of energy and very disrespectful lyrics. Some of the first to do it was part of a large gang in the south of Bronx called the YGs. YG rappers like Spaz Drilly and a few rappers coming from a housing complex called the River Park Towers started this new and exciting drill sound in 2019. Opposition gangs in the Bronx like DOA and OGs also jumped on the wave not too long after. The Bronx drill scene really started gaining a lot of attention all over social media, just due to how different it was. The start of the scene was literally just low production music videos with,
I ain't gonna lie, when these little niggas was at their peak, I wasn't listening to them because it's like, I just be like, yo, these niggas is just screaming and yelling disrespectful shit on the beat. Yeah, I really only gave a few artists out the Bronx drill shit a chance. I wasn't even giving them niggas chances, I ain't gonna lie. But you couldn't go nowhere in 2020, 21 without hearing them. Yeah, that shit was everywhere. Not like, and I'm not talking about like in the clubs or on the radio, it's just like everybody around you listening to this shit. Yeah, everybody around listening to this shit, so I was kind of like forced to hear some of this shit. Word, this shit was definitely, it ain't as like how I'm saying Pop Smoke and all them niggas was. It was nowhere near that kind of like big for New York. But them little niggas was getting played everywhere. Like everybody you heard, all the kids and just Instagram and just everywhere you go. Outside, niggas' cars, you hearing them blow, God boom, oh yeah, that. God boom, oh, there's a bunch of screaming and shit. I hated that shit, I ain't gonna lie.
with rappers dancing around and having fun while dissing each other very disrespectfully, while the top Brooklyn drill artists in his time was more focused on rapping about their lifestyles while throwing the odd diss to their ops. This new Bronx drill scene was straight up focused on dissing. Two rappers who led the movement was a YG rapper called D-Fang and the DOA rapper called K-Flock. And what made it so interesting that both these rappers weren't just rivals, they were also cousins. In late 2020 and 2021, the whole of the Bronx was looking like one big playground. Rappers were literally live streaming, spinning each other's blocks, while rival rappers were going on Instagram live dissing each other. And all of this was attracting big attention to the borough, which was reflecting on their views on tracks. But once again, this would all come crashing down. Violent crime was on a sharp increase in the Bronx, and as we could all probably guess by now, the NYPD wasn't gonna let this continue to get worse. And one by one, most big rappers were taken down. On December the 24th, after signing a record deal rumored to be worth 7 figures, the big star of the scene, K-Flock, was arrested and charged for the murder of a man in Harlem. A couple big indictments on the YGs also took out a lot of big rappers from that side like Lee Drilly and D-Fang. A lot of other popping rappers at the time, like PJ Glizzy, Nazi BK and CJ Goon to name a few, were hit with some serious charges also, leaving only a few big rappers to carry the scene. But this also left a big audience for new and lesser known rappers to fill. Two rival groups coming out of Manhattan called the OYs and the Sweepers started taking off after all of this. But recently, with two of the biggest rappers of the Sweepers, called S.Go and Nazi, being hit with some attempted murder charges, and with multiple OY rappers either now dead or locked up, it seems like history might be repeating itself again. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out.
They even say D-Thang was home. D-Thang saving it, man. D-Thang on the move, man. He all over motherfucking Super Bowl and all that. Ice Spice and all that. All that. Yeah, mention about Shorty. Yeah, the Bronx ain't dead, nigga. We mention about Shorty Spice. Spice still outside, nigga.